Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy with another Why They Work lick video. I see a lot of struggling lead guitar players, and one of the most common problems with the easiest fix is syncopation. That's not playing everything right on the beat. It is amazing to see solos come alive with this little fix of playing strong notes on the off beats. Today I have 5 licks that use the A minor blues scale, the A minor pentatonic scale, and the A major pentatonic scale, and learning these licks are going to teach you how to use syncopation, and you'll add interest, excitement, and anticipation to common blues solos. But before we get started, to get the most out of these lick lessons, we need to open up the entire fretboard and stop playing in just 1 or 2 patterns. So take a second to click the link in the description and download my free Big 4 scale pattern worksheet, and you can start changing your guitar playing and feeling comfortable playing all over the fretboard. Let's take a look at lick number 1 here. We're going to add some syncopation to your lines. We're going to start off in a major pentatonic sound. This is all over an A7 chord. I'm not going through the rest of the blues chords. I'm just staying on an A7. And we're going to start off here at the 5th fret, 5 to 6 on the G string. That's the minor third going to the major third. You could even slide into that if you wanted to. And then we're going to go up the major pentatonic scale. That's the E. That's at the 5th fret on the B string. The F sharp, which is at the 7th fret. And then we're going to go up to the root note. This is the strong note. This is where we want to hit it. And normally you would play it right on 1. But take a look here. We have a rest right before we hit that. So on 1, nothing, but on the and of 1, it comes in. So 1, 2. You hear that little hesitation. That's the syncopation. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1 comes in after 1. It's a big difference. Here's without it. That's right on 1 on the A. And here's with the syncopation. That little hesitation gives attitude. It really adds something there. And then as we let that ring, our next note is we're going to play the 7th fret on the B string. That's our F sharp. And we're going to bend the 8th fret on the high string up to the major third. That's a C going to C sharp. So far, 1, 2. Hesitation. So when we take a look at the second part of this one, we have a little syncopation too. We're going to start this on the and of 3 on measure 3. And this is going to be on the E note. That's the 5th fret on the B string, 5, 7, 5. So 1, 2, 3. Right, so that's offbeat there. Now we have a descending line that's going to go down the minor pentatonic scale. We've changed over to that. But we're still going to use some syncopation with this time only with accents. We're going to play each 8th note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and straight down. Well, how can this be something that has syncopation to it? We're going to accent the offbeat. That really adds excitement to this line. Instead of just going down a scale, that offbeat syncopation is really nice with the accents. Here's lick number 2. This one's pretty cool. We have some double stops here using the blues scale, the minor blues scale. That is the minor pentatonic scale with the sharp 4 added in. This is the 8th fret on the G string that we're going to be using a lot in this lick. So let's take a look. We start off with the syncopation. We don't start on beat 1. It's on the and of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So in that we're doing a double stop. We're taking 2 notes from the scale. This is both 5th frets on the high E and the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then we're hitting it right on beat 3. So it's syncopated first and then right on the beat. So now on the way down in this lick, we are going to start on the 8th fret of the B string. That's our flat 7 to the 5th. That's the 5th fret. That's our E. And then we're going to use our blue note. That's the 8th fret on the G string. Remember, I told you about that. Back up to the 5th, back up to the B string. Now we're going to end it off with the minor third, 5 on the G string, and then 7, that's the root on the D string. So the last part of this lick starts low and works its way high. We're going to do a double stop here at the 7th fret on the A string and the D string. And we're going to play that syncopated on the end of beat 1. 1, 1, 1. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1. The way up starts on the root, but it's on the and of 1. It's not on the beat, it's on the off beat. Then we go to the 5th fret on the G string, 7th fret on the G string, 8th fret on the G string. There is our blue note again. 1. It's a chromatic sound. It goes from 4th to sharp 4 to 5, right? They're all in a row. And then we're going to do the minor third, go down to the G string at the 5th fret, and then end it off on the A note. But it's not on beat 1. This is syncopated in a different way than we've been doing. We've been pushing it back. This is anticipating. So when I hit this A note, it's a half of a beat before you would think it would happen, before beat 1 on the next measure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It gives that really nice anticipation, and it lasts into the next measure where it will be the strong note for the whole chord. Continuing our offbeat licks here, number 3, we're going to be up in pattern 2 in A minor pentatonic. We're going to start on the D note, the 10th fret, all the way up on the high E string. We're going to bend that a full step up to the E. And then we're going to come back on the minor pentatonic scale, C note, and then the A at the 10th fret. But this is not going to happen on beat 1. It's going to be on the and of beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Notice I didn't start playing till after I said 1. It happens right after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The next measure does the same thing. We're going to skip that first beat and we're going to start 9th fret on the G string, 8th fret on the B string, and 10th fret on the D string. These are all from the minor pentatonic scale pattern 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And the second part of that measure keeps the same scale, but just works its way down. We start on the 8th fret on the high string, the 8th fret on the B string, and then the 10th fret on the B string, which is our root note. So that whole measure together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All of these happen offset. They're not right on the beat, they're off. The last part of this lick is pretty cool. We're going to be using the blues scale again, but we're going to have a whole section where we only play on the offbeat. So it's really going to be sharp and in your face there. So we're going to start with the 8th fret on the G string, and that's going to be on the and of 2. Then that's our blue note, right? Then we're going to go to the 7th fret on that same string. That's our 4th. Down to the 10th fret on the D string. That's our minor 3rd. Back up to the 4th. And then to the sharp 4 flat 5, our blue note. That's on the and of 4. Now, every note after this is on the and of its respective beat. We're going to go to the 9th fret, which is the 5th, 1 and then we're going to go to the 8th fret on the B string, and then the 8th fret on the high E string, and then finally to the root note, the 10th fret on the B string. So all of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything on the offbeat. This is a really, really, really cool lick. Reminds me of Ted Nugent or one of these 70s guitar players where they do something called unison bends. That you take one note and then you find that same note but a whole step down on the next string, and you bend that one that's down till it matches the first note. So you hear them dissonant in the beginning, but as you bend the note up, they level out. They sound nice. And this is something you heard a lot in 70s rock there. And what we're going to do is we're going to do unison bends up the blues scale. We'll do one for the A note. We'll do one for the C note. We'll do one for the D note. We'll do one for the D sharp or E flat. Then we'll do one for the E note. And then we'll do a bend on pattern 4 in A. and then a bend up to the root. Here's the one on the A note. So we're going to play the 8th fret of the B string and bend it up to the ringing 5th fret of the high E string so they match. Then we'll do the same thing up here at the 8th fret for our C, but now it's at the 11th fret on the B string. Notice I have both fingers on this. I have my 3rd finger bending and my 2nd finger behind it for support. Now we're going up to the D, 10th fret, and our bending note is going to be on the B string, 13th fret. We're going to bring that up a half step, and then another half step up to the E. Now we're in pattern 4 in A minor pentatonic. I'm going to do a really cool train bend sound. So I'll put my pinky on the 15th fret and then my 3rd finger on the 15th fret of the B string. And finally, I'll end this off with my 3rd finger on the 15th fret, bending up a whole step to our root note. Remember, these are all on the offbeat. So if this is beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. For our last lick, we're going to be using A minor pentatonic, and we're going to do some climbing with this while still playing on the offbeats to add interest and make things sound really, really nice. So all these start off on the offbeats, and this is no exception. This starts on the 7th fret of the G string on the end of 1, and then the 5th fret, that's D going down to C. That's 4th going down to minor 3rd. And it rings for a little bit, and then we have a hammer-on and pull-off, or pull-off and hammer-on, really, from 7, 5, 7 on the D string. This is all in A minor pentatonic. Should be very familiar to you. 1. And we end that with a little minor 3rd on the C. 1. Now here we go. We are going to climb up just using the easy minor pentatonic scale, but we're doing something similar to what the Allman Brothers would do. Hitting accents, hitting these notes on the offbeats as they climb. It's a very cool sound. So we have 1. We're going to climb all the way up there. So our first note is the root at the 7th fret on the D string. Then we have our minor 3rd, that's at the 5th fret of the G string. The 4th, that's on the 7th fret of the G string. The 5th, that's at the 5th fret of the B string. The flat 7th, which is at the 8th fret of the B string. Now I'm going to go up a pattern to the 10th fret on that same string for our root. And then we're going to go up to the C note, that's 8th fret on the high E string, and then come back to the root at the end. All of these are offbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hey, thanks for playing along today, and I hope you can hear how offsetting these notes can take a plain old lick and make it sound really, really nice. You don't have to learn anything new, you just have to know when to play the strong beats. Thanks to all of our Academy members over at playguitaracademy.com who are tearing into the guitar profiles in a tab from this lesson right now. And don't forget to download my big 4 scale pattern worksheet. It's going to make all of this easier for you. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice. I will see you in the next lick video.